Hello everyone and welcome to the breakout room for teaching staff. I'm going to go around the room and introduce everybody. I encourage you to hop onto the YouTube chat and ask questions, and we're happy to answer them. If you are watching off of the school website, you'll need to click on the top banner of whatever breakout room you're in so you can get the YouTube feed, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So my name is Joe Muse. I am a senior physics and astronomy teacher here. I'm also the Director of Teaching and Learning and involved in various aspects around the school.
Hi, my name is David Mattiazzo. I'm a teacher. I teach religion, fitness, and I'm the Director of Campus Ministry.
Hello, my name is James Borthistle. I am the Athletic Director and a math teacher here at the school.
Hi, I'm Ethan Shoemaker. I'm a band teacher. I teach recording and sound. I'm also the Fine Arts Department head.
While we wait for questions to come in, I have some queued up questions that came in advance. So first question for everybody is, what is this school's strength, or what does the school do better than many other schools?
I think overall we develop our students in so many different areas. It's one of the things about the Knights Cross that we're so proud of here at the school. We don't just focus on academics, although that is a major part of it. We work on developing the student as a whole. You know, athletics, fine arts, action, and our religion departments, our advocacy. Your son or daughter will get a full, well-rounded education here, and we're very proud of that.
I think too that at the school, nobody really falls through the cracks. There's always somebody looking out for the students. I've never been at a school where so many teachers and so many members of just the community look out for everybody. So I really think that's one of the things that we do exceedingly well.
And just to add, I'm just really impressed with our students. And our students have been given that role to take that leadership role, to organize different outreach service opportunities, and they're encouraging their other peers. So it's just the students given a chance to lead, to be servant leaders, to organize events, and they can really thrive.
Two things that come to mind for me is that it's a place of opportunity, both for teachers and for students. We have a tremendous amount of extracurricular things going on in our school, and some really diverse course offerings for a school of our size, and students can really get involved. The other one is a sense of community and family. My face hurts most days from laughing in my classes and with my students and with my fellow staff members, and it really feels like a family in a lot of ways. Again, if you're watching at home, you can ask questions in the chat feature on YouTube, and we will answer them as they come up. We have some other questions here though to ask.
Maybe I can just add.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'd just like to add that we're part of this amazing Christian Brother Network worldwide, where founded by Blessed Edmund Rice, we're connected with over 200 schools in 25 different countries, and our students get to connect. Just on Tuesday, we had some of our students be part of a dialogue with students from all across the states. Just having a dialogue about some human rights issues. And what are things that they're seeing at their school? What are some things that we can collectively do to make the world a better place? So having this worldwide network, having the Christian brothers in the school, we have two brothers that actually live in the building who are kind of guiding us, who are just perfect role models for our students to live up to. So that network is so inspiring. And we do Christian brother trips to Peru. We've been to different places in Brownsville, Texas, throughout the states, different opportunities in Florida where students had a chance to be servant leaders, to go and build homes, to connect with different communities. And I think it's such a valuable opportunity for our students.
So a question that's here is what does involvement in each of your areas look like for a student that's coming in?
Well, from the athletic realm, we want as many people, all of our students, to get involved in athletics. And as you heard in the piece earlier, whether that means being a manager, whether that means being an athlete, if eventually you get to a level where you can coach as well, or just as being an enthusiastic fan of our teams. We really want our whole student body to be proud of our STM athletics. We do offer athletics for a wide range of people and a wide range of abilities. For those who just want to get involved and not get competitive, we have intramurals. We have club programs like a badminton club where you can come after school and play badminton without competing against other groups. We also have we have camps that we use also to develop in the summertime, where if you were interested in basketball or volleyball, that you can attend those camps. And then of course we have our athletic teams here, where at the younger levels, the grade 8, 9, and 10 levels, we gear our training more towards development, getting everyone playing time, but with a focus on competitiveness as well. And then at varsity, we have a real push for to be the strongest team that we can be. And so there's an opportunity for someone at any level to get involved in athletics at St. Thomas More.
I think in terms of fine and applied arts, there's also, just like Mr. Barthesel just said, there's space for everybody in all interests. When a student comes in grade 8, there's course offerings in the timetable for art, drama, woodworking, technology, band and choir, and all those programs give the students a really well-rounded kind of basis in those programs. We do offer some extracurricular programs as well for those students that want to take their involvement just a little bit more, and you can find out more information about that later on, or contact the school. In terms of what we expect from the students, we just expect good attitudes and good effort, and a willingness to try it out, yeah.
And our faith and service opportunities are open to all of our students from grade 8 to grade 12. All of our students are responsible for service hours, and it's something they want to do, something they get excited about doing. And as mentioned earlier, we do offer some really cool service opportunities, volunteering, and the majority of those are open for grade 8 students. Our Peru trips are more for grade 10, 11, 12. But if a student wants to volunteer at a breakfast program, at a soup kitchen, they can sign up just as they can with a grade 12. And often it's the grade 8s who are the first one up to sign up for those opportunities. And during this time of COVID, we are looking at some different options of things we can and can't do. And I think of 2 grade 8 students who they started an initiative where they created care cards. They created Christmas cards for new immigrant families. So from our grade 8s to our grade 12s, they're coming up with a lot of creative things to serve the community.
From an academic standpoint, we have teachers that are really committed to developing their teaching and to strengthen our students' learning. And we have lots of opportunities for students to get involved in academic pursuits outside of the regular curriculum. We have things like the astronomy club or the modern physics club. We have a debate club. We have a coding club. There is a math club. So there's lots of opportunities, and if students are interested in something we don't offer, there's a really willingness to find teachers that will help support those programs. At this point, we'll take another around the room to introduce ourselves. We've been at this for a few minutes. If you're at home, you can ask questions in the chat on YouTube. My name is Joe Muse. I am a senior physics and astronomy teacher and the director of teaching and learning.
Good evening. My name is David Matiazzo. I teach religion 9 and 10. I teach senior fitness, and I'm also the director of campus ministry. So I can answer any of your questions to do with faith, service, and servant leadership.
My name is James Barthesel. I'm the school's athletic director. I also teach some math courses here at the school.
I'm Ethan Shoemaker, and I'm the band teacher here, as well as the fine arts department head.
So a question that's been submitted here, are the brothers still involved in the daily life of the school?
Yes. We have, as mentioned earlier, we have 2 Christian brothers in the building. And if you're with us today, you'd be walking through the halls and you would see pictures everywhere on our halls. And it's just amazing. One of our brothers, Brother Cassidy, he's around he's taking pictures, he's connecting with our students. He's kind of overseeing our mission collections where we send funds to different groups. So yes, they're involved. Brother Bassett, you could see him cutting the lawn. He's doing a lot of, you know, just I remember this summer he was planting a tree, and it was, and we had to go down to a local place to pick up a tree, and it was just like his backyard. He's very proud to see this tree being planted. This is his home. Where our school is the home of the Christian Brothers. And the hardest part was during the COVID when they couldn't see our students. So yes, they're still involved. They visit classes, fist pumps or virtual fist pumps during this era, and it just really brightens up the staff and the students' faces when we get to see the brothers.
Another question from the chat is about woodworking, astronomy, and robotics. What grades are they available? Astronomy as a course operates at the grade 11 and 12 level, but the astronomy club is open to all grades. The robotics programs, Mr. Shoemaker?
Robotics starts in earnest in grade 10, but there are some tech and design classes starting in grade 8 that work with Mr. Beaton, who's our robotics teacher, and woodworking is also offered in grade 8 as well.
Okay, so here's one. Does your school offer any advanced placement courses, or are there options to move ahead a year in some courses? James, can you speak to math on that one?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. We offer opportunities when students come into the school. If they're interested in going straight into Math 9, they can challenge the grade 8 exam and perhaps get into the grade 9 class as a grade 9 student. We also offer enriched classes as well, and those attendance in those is dependent usually on teacher recommendation and previous successes in earlier courses. But yes, there's an opportunity to get ahead that way.
And in French, I believe there's an opportunity to write an exam coming into grade 8, so you can challenge to get up to a higher level. The question here, James, also for you then. Interested in knowing what level of volleyball and basketball do our teams play at, AA or AAA?
We are a AA school. In volleyball, it's one of those sports where you cannot change the level, A, AA, AAA, or 4A. So we are a AA school and have been competing there for the 20 years that I've been here. Sometimes that AA level is just as strong, if not stronger, than the AAA or 4A level. It's a very competitive level with a lot of smaller private schools like ourselves competing, and some of the smaller public schools out there.
You're popular tonight. Can you please provide a bit of information about the football program?
Absolutely. So our grade 8 team usually gets started a week or so before school starts with some training, and our junior varsity and varsity teams are also doing a little bit of training before the school year starts. We get right into our season. Practices are after school on our field outside. Our grade 8s usually play on Tuesday afternoons. Our junior varsity teams play on Thursday afternoons, and our varsity team plays on Friday nights or Saturdays at Burnaby Lakes or at any of the high schools that we're playing at. Mr. Mattiazzo here, of course, is one of our football coaches. Anything you want to add to that, Mr. Mattiazzo?
Yes, it's just like all of our programs, each program is in a community in itself where our senior students are mentoring our younger students. Just right now, they're training together. They're encouraging each other. We have a lot of kind of strict guidelines on our program, and we want students to be successful both on the field and in the classroom. We play at a very high level, the AAA level. We've had a lot of success, and it's a journey. It's a great community. Being a small school, we have a lot of students coming out for the football program in all of our sports. There's very large numbers.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that came up earlier was the idea of student involvement. And when I think about our coaching at our school, we do have a lot of alumni that come back to coach. I coach our school's ultimate frisbee team, and I always have more coaches than I can use sometimes, because some people want to stay involved with their school. Again, if you're watching at home, you can submit questions in the chat on YouTube, and we will answer them as they come up. In the meantime, we have some questions prepared.
We do another introduction as well.
Sure, why not? Let's get to the other side of it this time.
I'm Ethan Shoemaker. I'm the band director. I also teach recording and sound. I'm also the fine arts department head.
My name is James Borthistle. I'm the athletic director at the school, and I teach math as well.
Good evening. My name is David Matiazzo. I am the Director of Campus Ministry. I also teach religion and senior fitness.
And my name is Joe Muse. I am a senior physics and astronomy teacher, and I am also the Director of Teaching and Learning and the moderator of today's chat session here. Question generally speaking, how is technology integrated in the classroom at each level of education?
That's a great question. Well, in my area, the fine arts and applied arts, within visual art, we have architectural design. We're starting to use digital media. We have digital media programs, recording and sound programs. So we're using various programs that are industry standards, equipment that is industry standard equipment throughout many of the programs that we have. Obviously, in our robotics program, technology takes high precedence within that program as well. So pretty much most of the departments within fine and applied arts integrate technology and the use of it, even if it's just from our Google Classrooms, integrating other platforms that integrate with Google Classrooms. So technology is a pretty important aspect of just about all of our programs.
In science, we've made a bit of a push to start using digital probeware for data collection and really changing the sort of experiments we can run on a regular basis. Across the school, we've made a strong commitment of getting technology into the hands of teachers, but also providing professional development, so it's not just a tool that they have, but they know how to use it well and integrate it into their teaching.
It evolved in campus ministry. Since the pandemic has begun, we haven't canceled any of our scheduled masses. And we were fortunate to do virtual masses from different locations, whether it be our chapel, a church, for our students can still participate in the mass. And it's, and we hope we can get back into a church soon, but till that time happens, we still have the technology where we can still celebrate masses. Earlier we mentioned that we do a lot of service and outreach, and we do a mission trip. There's an opportunity for our school to be involved in a Peru immersion, a virtual immersion, where some of our students or different groups can actually take part, see what's happening when a house is being built all across in Lima, Peru, and interact with families. So just through that Christian Brother Network, they had that opportunity, and it's amazing what technology can do.
A question that's been submitted for Mr. Borthistle.
Popular guy.
Popular.
This is probably in general, but the specific question is, how can a new grade 8 student join a volleyball team in the fall?
Excellent. So one of the things that you will hear from day one is we want you to get involved in the school. And so it's always so impressive that the first week of school we will have tryouts for the team. And there will be anywhere from 40 to 60 girls in the gym trying out for a team that has 15 spots available. But we're so proud of our students for trying to get involved early and making a big effort like that. And so the announcements will be made as soon as school begins, that the tryouts will be probably with that number of people, probably go on for a week and a half or so, trying to give everyone an opportunity to show what they can do, show their effort level. It's not just skill that goes into making any team, it's also your level of try, how you are as a teammate. And so yeah, the grade 8 volleyball will get going right away in the fall with about a week and a half of tryouts, and then the season runs through about mid-November.
And sometimes when a student may not make a team, there's other opportunities. They might find another sport, another passion. Just this year, I coach cross country, and it's just another opportunity where a lot of students can get involved. So a lot of sports for a small school that we offer.
A question from chat here: any data on recent college admissions, admission rates, colleges, etc.? I know that we have a 99% graduation rate over the past 5 years at least, and I think it's above 90% of our students go on to some form of post-secondary.
I think it's almost all, just about.
Yeah,
and the ones that don't right away are ones that choose to take a gap year, take a year off.
Yeah,
before
or
going on.
they're working. They've secured some work usually.
Yeah. So we have a high rate of our students getting admitted into programs that they're interested in, and securing some pretty big scholarships, I think, along the way.
And just a variety of universities across Canada,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
even overseas, from my understanding. Right?
Mhm.
We've had some students go to England and that. So.
And one of the things I've heard from a number of universities, and that's been filtered down to us as staff, is that when our students do go to post-secondary institutions, they are very ready. They're fully prepared for it, and they stand out amongst a lot of the students that are at the university or college.
Maybe we can go around across the room and think of a grad or two of recent grads that have gone on to do interesting things in fields that are adjacent to our various areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start. I have a recent student who graduated who's going on physics, and she just recently secured an internship at CERN in Switzerland, and so she's conducting research for the next 4 months there.
It's what really touches me when I see a student, maybe involved in outreach and service, and then when they graduate, they want to give back, or they're continuing to go to. We were, as mentioned earlier, we were involved with the breakfast program, and we still have alumni that continue coming. Or if we're on a retreat and they want to, hey, can we come on your Great 10 retreat? Go to the downtown east side. We have students that are involved in a lot of service and outreach. I remember Emily Wilkerson. She came on the Peru trip. She was she started a charity in Belize, a music school in Belize for underprivileged children. So just hearing, and there's numerous children just getting involved in a different service and outreach in the community, wanting to continue, and they really miss that. It's so much part of ingrained of who they are, and they want to continue that because they get a sense of happiness and joy serving the community. And I know when this is over, I'm going to think of all these different names of students that are doing things.
Yeah. I think was sort of touched on already is that, and I'll give us specific in a moment or two, but how many of our alumni do come back to coach, after playing football or volleyball or basketball or track and field. So many of our coaches, our athletes, come back and help out with the programs. We also have a number of athletes over the years that have turned professional. Right, you might have one eye on this and one eye on the Canucks game tonight, but you might notice the name Kyle Turris, who plays for Edmonton this year, but he's an STM alumni of about 10 years ago. We have a number of football players, John Cornish, and a number of others, Calvin McCarty, who have played in the CFL for the last number of years. An Olympian, Mr. Ogilvy, Peter Ogilvy, I believe is the name. Is that correct?
Yeah,
from
Peter Ogilvy,
about 30 years
two-time
ago.
Olympian.
Two-time Olympian.
Zion Corrales-Nelson, she's one of the top sprinters in the U.S.
Thank you.
She's at USC, and her sister's at a University of California for throwing. There's two twins, the Gaspar twins. Yeah, they're Arizona State for lacrosse. A number of athletes that are continuing in their sports. Terrell Jana, he's at University of Virginia, wide receiver, and he was known for he took his name off his jersey to. He's at the University of Virginia. There's to acknowledge those whose names were forgotten. Doing some great things.
We often have students in the fine and applied arts go on and really pursue their passions. I'm thinking of one student who she was involved in lots of our art, in all of our arts programs, and heavily involved in our recording and sound program. Went to BCIT, got involved with the broadcast program there. She turned around and taught at BCIT. She was working Canucks games. She was working the rugby sevens. And next summer she's going to the Olympics as part of the film crew for CBC. Quite often we get students who they really zero in on their passion that they find here at the school, and not just in fine and applied arts everywhere. We have students that really they find that what makes them tick and that why, and we see them succeed time and time again post secondary and into their careers.
I think it's time for another round of introductions. Thanks for those that are joining us here in the teaching staff and the Knights Compass discussion. My name is Joe Muse, and I am the senior physics and astronomy teacher, and I'm the director of teaching and learning.
Good evening. My name is David Mattiazzo. I'm the director of campus ministry. I'm also a religion and fitness teacher.
Good evening. My name is James Borthistle. I am the director of athletics. I'm also a math teacher at the school.
Hi, I'm Ethan Shoemaker. I'm the band director here at the school. I also teach recording and sound, and I am the fine arts department head.
Another question for Mr. Borthistle.
Mm-hmm.
A son who loves to play football, does the grade 8 team practice more than one day a week?
Absolutely. They will go they will have 4 days a week for sure, possibly 5. Practice Monday, game Tuesday, then practice Wednesday, Thursday, and most likely Friday as well. So it is a Monday to Friday gig. Absolutely.
Mr. Shoemaker, maybe you could talk about the grade 8 opportunities for band and choir.
Yeah, for band and choir for grade 8, they're actual classes that we take inside the timetable, and those classes, they run all year long. And we regularly have students that come in with previous experience, students that come in without experience, and we get everybody up to the same level, firing on all cylinders. And those classes, they meet regularly, obviously, either under a normal circumstances 2 to 3 times a week as the schedule allows. And we those ensembles will regularly perform at the school at various concerts and events, and travel to festivals around the community as well.
A relevant point maybe to talk about is the fact that our school made the move to one-to-one technology a couple of years ago, where every student is issued a Chromebook in grade 8, which was really vital in our ability to shift to online learning last spring, and has allowed us to execute a hybrid model this fall where students are only in every second day but still doing work at home.
I think that one-to-one policy that we have as well has really, it's pushed us on the teaching staff to really try to innovate what we do to incorporate the technology and use it beyond just another, like a digital notebook, which is really exciting.
And I think it's really shifted some discussions among staff about, when we come back out of a pandemic situation, how will teaching and learning look different from what it did before, and so it's pushing innovation in the school.
Another thing I'd like to add is very fortunate. We have 2 chaplains, 2 priests that are in our building 3 times a week. Father Mark McGuckin and Father Joachim Yoon. And it's really amazing when you have priests. There's plenty of opportunity for classroom visits, discussions, having confessions opportunities for our students, class masses. It's really brought a lot to our community. In addition to having the Christian Brothers, is having that religious presence. And they're with our retreats, and they're interacting in the halls, they're visiting classes. It's just a wonderful opportunity.
I haven't said this lately, so if you're following along at home, you can submit questions via YouTube on the chat on the right side, but you have to come off of the main STM page and into YouTube. A question generally, this is from my prepared questions, what kind of opportunities does our school give teachers to develop themselves professionally?
Well, I'll tell you, our leader holds Pro D sacrosanct, and I tell you what that means is he really values it, and our teachers all get plenty of opportunities to go to different workshops. We have some in-house Pro Ds as well, where we have some of our teachers who are experts in their field are able to transfer some of their knowledge to the rest of us teachers as well. And I know our department heads are extremely receptive to any things that we want to try in our classrooms. One of the things I'm trying this year for the first time is something called a flipped classroom. And that is where we're creating videos now for our topics, and that's especially relevant right now with COVID-19, so that when our students are at home, they're able to watch these videos, so that when they're in the class time, they're able to take advantage of that time and work and be able to ask questions of their teacher rather than being at home and being stuck. So, and I learned that, I was given that opportunity to learn about that. Given all the literature I was needed, some books were purchased for me, and I've enjoyed reading about them and learning about it and implementing it in my classroom.
The Blessed Edmund Rice Network that we're part of, which is a worldwide network, offers some amazing opportunities for our staff and our students as well. We have what's called the Called and Gifted, where staff from a variety of our North American schools meet up, learn about Edmund Rice, learn about each other's schools, and how we can bring that charism back to our school. We mentioned that there's trips for our students, but there's also service trips for our staff to be involved in some of the activities, building homes that our students would participate in, Or, for instance, I had an opportunity to be part of a Beyond Borders retreat in India. It's pretty cool. We have 20 Christian Brothers schools in India. And as a teacher, I had a chance to visit different schools all throughout the country, coming together, meeting with teachers from Ghana, from India, from the US, from Australia, and finding ways that we can connect. So, this Edmund Rice Network is just amazing for us.
Throughout my time here, I felt really encouraged to pursue opportunities. To echo what Mr. Matiassa said, is that if we find something that we're interested in, we're encouraged to go and find out information about it and dive into it, with the idea that maybe it comes back and helps our students, right? And everything is designed around that idea. For those that are following at home, we just got a warning that we are 5 minutes out from closing the breakout room. So if you have questions to ask, now is the time. I'll just find another question out of our queued up ones. How does the school support children of academic, social, and emotional difficulties?
Well, we have a wonderful personal counseling department, and every year we talk at the beginning about what the procedure would be, and to keep an eye out for students who look like they're struggling. And again, we've talked about this earlier. One of the things that's the beauty of this school is that you're not just a nameless face when you're here. You get to know people, you start to learn about them, and you can see when students are struggling, both personally, emotionally, academically. And so all the teachers here, the students get to know each other. They look out for one another. So we have a wonderful personal counseling staff and an academic counseling staff that work hand in hand, that can help the students when they're in need.
I think a change we've seen in the last 5 years is more of a focus on promoting mental health with students and having those discussions of helping them help themselves along the way. We also have a very strong learning assistance department that helps a lot of students learn how to deal with high school, I think is a big part of that. A general question then, echoing Mr. Garland from the start of the night. When we say we want students to have the night stuff, what would an example be of a model student who displays the night stuff?
I think a student that thinks beyond themselves. I think a student that thinks about how can they better work with others, how can they better learn from others and function in a team, and innovate that way. I think that's one of the night stuff secret sauces that we sort of look for students and try to promote as well.
I think from an athletic standpoint, or just in general, someone who's willing to take risks, someone who's willing to push themselves, but also someone who has character, someone who's going to make the right decision or learn to make the right decision if they're not there yet, from their experiences, someone who can face some adversity and grow from it.
We have a lot of night puns, as you'll probably hear, with team names. When I think of a St. Thomas More student, we're really guided by these 7 essential elements of a Christian brother education. And this year we're really focusing on 2, stand in solidarity with those marginalized by poverty and injustice, and celebrate the dignity of each person. And it's the student that can live out those elements, is really what a St. Thomas More student is. If they can value somebody, put somebody before themselves, being a true servant leader. And we see that, and we're so impressed with, especially our seniors who amplify that, and our grade 8s want to be that student. You don't have to be at the best at something. It's, looking out for somebody else, putting somebody before yourself.
I was sitting in a grade 8 class today, and they were working on a new initiative that we have around design cycle. And part of the discussion was, in your group, were you a leader, or were you a doer, or were you listening intently and trying to contribute? And I think all of those are important aspects. And all students, I think, coming in have different parts of that. And we look for students that are willing to grow and develop and change themselves, improve themselves over time is a big aspect of what we look for in the school. We are probably pretty close to done. So if you have any questions in the chat, get them in ASAP before someone else closes the room on us. technical question, maybe this is from my pre-recorded ones. How and how often are parents updated on their children's progress?
Well, we report 3 times a year? 4 times a year?
4 regularly. Yeah.
4 regular times. And through our Power School portal, parents can often see the progress of their students, of their courses. Also, we encourage families to reach out to teachers as well, to check in regularly. And so on a fairly regular basis, you're updated and are invited to inquire about that.
And our teachers are pretty proactive at, if things are going, we've noticed a change in a student's academic performance or behavior, we'll usually reach out and initiate that conversation from the other way as well.
And we invite our parents to be part of your son or daughter's journey. Not right now, but when we have our masses, our celebrations, we encourage parents to attend. And I don't know if you heard of our Mother's Day celebration, where we invite our mothers, all of our mothers. There's an assembly afterwards for them. So it's the parents are part of the journey with their students.
We are. Okay. Thanks for joining us. If you have any further questions, please contact Mr. Hall or Mrs. Cirillo and the admissions team. And have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.